Hey, Rochester, welcome to WDKX Wake Up Club After Show on WDKX Podcast Network. Tariq Spence with you with DJ Site. Go to WDKX's app or WDKX.com to follow up on the story we talk about all the time. Today's After Show topic, Site, it's got you hot.
Yeah, well, I had me speaking from passion, and it came from this story out of South Carolina. I believe it was in Charleston County, where they started a new program that aims to improve student attendance and academics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they launched the program back in March, where the incentive is giving families $25 a week for perfect attendance. Now, this made my skin crawl because, first of all, $25 is not a lot of money. Tariq, you said something before we even came in on this podcast where you broke it down, where you're like, wait a minute, so that's peanuts.
Yeah, it's literally, if you go to school like 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's 30 hours. And then, $25, like less than $1 and an hour you're there.
Well, it kills me because, first of all, why do we have to pay parents to send their kids to school? I get it. There's different factors on why kids are out of school. But I believe they have like a bad attendance problem. Like, we have an attendance problem in Rochester, but I believe their attendance problem is worse than ours. But $25 to get people motivated to send their kids to school when you're supposed to send your kids to school? Just like my mom used to say, you're supposed to get good grades. Why do I need to buy you something? Why do I need to pay you? You're supposed to do your chores. You're supposed to send your kids to school. Kids are supposed to get good grades. I understand, kids have their struggles and every kid is different, but we're not even talking about that. We're talking about paying parents to send their kids to school. They're getting up $25 on a restricted debit card that only can be used for like everyday necessities like gas, food, stuff like that. But when I heard this story, Trick, I was like, I had to bring this up on the show because it just doesn't make no sense.
Well, no, because we grew up in an era, in a lifestyle in which you were just supposed to go to school because that was your job. I only had one job between the ages of being born and graduating high school, and that was to go to school every day, all the time, perfect attendance. It was huge in my family, and it was taught, it was valued. I think that's where I want to go on this one. What's interesting to me is that people weren't going to school prior to the $25 a week, and now they are, which leads me to believe that there's some sort of issue and value that they didn't see in education that you can get in the long term for the rest of your life, that they valued now in the $25, which breaks down to less than $1 an hour that the kid is in school.
Yeah, they said, like you said, they said within the weeks of the program, they saw the attendance shoot up. But this is what I want to say. $25, right? If you would have been like, yo, we're giving families $2,500 a week, $5,000 a week to send their kids to school. All right, you got a better argument with me. I'm gonna still say what I'm gonna say, but you got a better argument. But for $25, that's all it took for you to jump up and send your kids to school. What was the problem then when you weren't getting $25?
Well, that's a good point, and I think that's the point I'm trying to get to, in the sense that they don't see the value of the long-term education that they'll get out of graduating. They see the value in the $25 immediately. And to me, that's a concern, because that makes me pause about where the poverty line is in this county and what people are dealing with. But we have an issue. We have an issue in every part of the country.
Yeah, this is
where
not
people
just,
do not want to go to school. And let me extend it to the adults. Some adults don't want to go to work.
True.
And this is not just a school thing. This is going to be expanded to a lot of different people. Why people ain't going back to work. You can blame COVID beforehand, but there's a lot of people that don't want to, go to work for whatever amount of money it is. So I'm concerned about the deeper issues that would make somebody decide, you know what, I'm not going today. $25 did get me off the couch or out of the bed or out of the house and go to school. But what I'm really concerned is the long-term value that we don't place in education. And that was what motivated my ass to go to school. And my mother kicking my ass out of the house.
Yeah, right.
And like, you ain't gonna, this ain't going down in my establishment.
Now, they always say, man, if somebody wants something, they're going to make sure they get to it. And obviously, this is something that a lot of people don't really care for.
Well, here's the thing, though. What we do,
No, we do.
I know in our household,
We do.
I know you hold your son accountable. I hold my kids accountable. Education is very big because I want to be able to make sure that we have functioning, working adults and maximizing their intelligence.
Yeah.
People across this country, across the world, are extremely intelligent, and it doesn't sound intelligent now, I said, but they're extremely intelligent. Can they maximize it to the most of their ability?
Right.
And you can't if you don't even try.
Well, they said after May 16th, the district in the Charleston County School District will evaluate the program's impact on attendance and academic performance. So they're going to take a review and see on how things are going. Tricky made a good point. You know, they're slashing funds with.
That's right. They might not make it to fall.
The education department. So right. So
not funny, but
hey, we got to allocate this money somewhere. Let's just get rid of it. I guess I don't know, but
how ironic it would be to think that they possibly have a solution to it. Get as many kids into the school, and now funding might be the issue that stops it.
Yeah.
Depending on where this county is and if it's affected by DEI. I don't know. Stay tuned. It's like an episode in a show. It just never ends.
Well, listen, if you want to read the full story, go to WDKX.com or tap the WDKX app.
Make sure you tune in next time for the WDKX Wake Up Club After Show.